Tonight, Alan Jones arrested and charged. The 83-year-old accused of indecently assaulting 8 people over 2 decades, the youngest just 17 years old. Specialist police raiding his multi-million-dollar Circular Quay apartment this morning. The new plan from the government to change what you can buy with cash. Find out which businesses will be affected. For the first time, the police officer who tasered a 95-year-old grandmother explains his actions. And are we in for more pain on our train network? Why the government says 24-hour services just aren't sustainable, putting them on a collision course with the union.
Made in Sydney. This is 10 News First with Sandra Sully.
Good evening. There have been extraordinary scenes in the city today. Police raiding the harbourside home of talkback titan Alan Jones. The 83-year-old was arrested and driven to Day Street Police Station, and that's where he was charged with 24 offences against 8 alleged victims, the youngest just 17 years old.
Tonight, shock, arrest and charges. Former broadcaster Alan Jones accused of more than 20 offences of assault and indecent assault related to 8 victims, the youngest 17. New South Wales police raiding his multi-million-dollar Sydney apartment. The boss of the VCE system quits in the wake of exam bungles after little more than 12 months in the job. Breaking news, 2 Melbourne women fighting for life after methanol poisoning at a Laos hostel. Neighbours tell of their terror after a gunman is on the run following a Geelong shooting. Cash to remain king, with the federal government set to require essential businesses to accept banknotes. A family's emotional tribute following the tragic deaths of brothers and their cousin in a light plane crash. Mick Fanning joins us live from the Sport Australia Hall of Fame, where the 3-time world champion surfer is set to be inducted.
The rain has cleared from Melbourne and the sun has come out this afternoon. I'll have the latest on the weather live from the banks of the Yarra River.
Made in Melbourne. This is 10 News First with Jennifer Kite.
Good evening. First tonight, the sensational arrest of former radio talkback king Alan Jones. The 83-year-old has been charged with indecently assaulting 8 people over 2 decades, the youngest just 17 years old.
Made in Brisbane. This is 10 News First with Sharon Gadella.
Good evening. He was the king of talkback, a powerful shock jock who was courted by prime ministers and the rich and famous. But Alan Jones is tonight accused of sex abuse allegedly carried out on young men over 2 decades.
Tonight, a stolen car flipped after crashing into another vehicle, sending it smashing into a room where a family slept. City bottle shops unite with a booze ban to combat antisocial behaviour. Alan Jones accused of indecently assaulting 8 people over 2 decades, with his multi-million-dollar apartment raided. The Libs back to basics after the black by-election belting. And almost half of SA parents fear their child wouldn't survive a water emergency.
This is 10 News First Adelaide with Kate Freeburn.
Good evening. There's been a frightfully close call for a Western Suburbs family, including a baby, after a car was catapulted into the room they were sleeping in. The hunt is now on for the pair responsible for slamming a stolen car into the vehicle.
Tonight, shock arrest. Radio veteran Alan Jones charged, accused of indecently assaulting 8 young men over 2 decades. In a surprise twist, social media influencer Gracie Piscopo takes the stand for her former partner, accused of murdering his mother. A Perth grandmother goes on trial in Japan, accused of drug smuggling. She says she's the victim of a romance scam. Keeping cash king, the government plan to ensure select retailers will always accept money. And the new Eagles have landed Liam Baker and Medj Owies hit the training track in blue and gold.
made in Perth. This is 10 News First with Natalie Forrest.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. Former radio talkback king Alan Jones has been sensationally arrested, taken into custody from his Harbourside home this morning. The 83-year-old is charged with indecently assaulting 8 men over 2 decades, the youngest just 17 years old.